Hey.
There's been so much interest in the economic boom that's been happening in Jamaica, both on the investment side and also as a place to move to. Let me tell you about a conference that might help you with this stuff. DropX is a 5-day Jamaica investment conference that takes place from November 13th to November 17th at the beautiful Travelers Beach Resort in Negril, Jamaica. This includes 2 full days of expert panel presentations on all aspects of moving to and investing in Jamaica. This includes the brightest minds in the Jamaican real estate market, certified financial advisors from the most prestigious financial groups in Jamaica, banking professionals from the most esteemed banking institutions in Jamaica, among others. If you are thinking about moving to Jamaica, this conference is the perfect opportunity to have direct access to not only individuals who have achieved your dream of moving to Jamaica, but you'll also be among like-minded conference goers who are also trying to move to Jamaica. In addition, there will be 1 full day dedicated to touring both residential and commercial real estate for sale in the greater Negril area to give you a tangible idea of the real estate landscape in Jamaica. There will be exclusive properties for sale on this tour that you will not find listed anywhere else. If you are even remotely considering moving to or investing in Jamaica, this is the conference for you. This is the best way to dip your toe in the water of figuring out whether Jamaica is the right place for you to invest and to live. For more information, please visit thropx.com and join our mailing list. I look forward to seeing you in November. Hello, Throppers, and welcome back to another Thursday live stream. We're, of course, back here in the studio. I hope you can hear me because I did not test my mic, but I'm assuming that it is working, and you will let me know if you can or can't hear me. So as you can probably, maybe you didn't see, if you didn't see the community page, but we have a guest here today, and we're going to be talking about entertainment in Negril. And as usual, but also please let me know where you're chiming in from, what city, what state, what country, of course. And as Julia is saying, yeah, we are in full countdown mode for ThropX 2023. We are about 10 days out. We'll be talking about that as well very shortly. But I really want to get right into our conversation with our guest today. So right now, I'm going to introduce a friend of mine, a local promoter, I would say one of the biggest or the biggest promoters in the area, maybe I'd say. He's being a little humble, but I'd like to welcome Sean Greenfield to the podcast today. Thank you for coming on, Sean.
Good evening, everybody. YouTube land. Yeah, thank you for inviting me to the program. And we're just here to wrap, talk about entertainment, and speak about my event.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do want to let everybody know that Sean has a big event. I would say one of the biggest events in Negril, Different Strokes. It's happening November 18th.
Yeah, November 18th.
The day after DropX, as a matter of fact. And this is one of my favorite events to go to. I think a lot of people favorite events to go to in Negril. And the uniqueness of it is it's an oldies, it's an old school party. And I think people really appreciate the nostalgia of it. But before we hop into that event, I want to let the people know who you are, what you're about. And so I guess to start with, like, very easily, where you're from and where you grew up.
I'm from Savlamar, but I have family in Negril. My grandmother is from Negril. My grandfather is from Negril, from the Negril area. But I grew up actually in Savlamar and in Manchester. Went to high school in Manchester, went to university, came back to Negril. Actually, I'm an engineer.
Oh, okay.
But I have never worked a day as an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up doing business, and the rest is history, as they would say.
Okay.
But I still have a passion for engineer. But presently, I'm a promoter right now, and also have a business in town, World of Sports, where I do sporting goods, and also do remittance services and stuff like that. Entertainment wise, as I said before, I'm a promoter. I'm a director in the Negril Events Association, which is a group of promoters. Not just promoters, but it deals with everything that's entertainment. So it's not just for promoters. or venue owners. It's for everyone who has an interest in entertainment. So even like it's open to persons like the chicken persons, anybody who wants to be a part of it
Mm-hmm.
can be a part of that. I'm also a member of the Negro Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, a director in the Negro Chamber, and that's basically it in a nutshell for me. I'm just here trying to do what I have to do to help wherever I have to help, whoever I have to help. Um, and that's it.
And how long have you been in the entertainment business industry?
Entertainment is part, could say, in my blood. I've been doing it from college days. And prior to college, I've been around persons doing entertainment. Went to enter college. I was a part of the entertainment team there at Cast, no UTech, you know. And then I came back in the grill, started doing business, and then I saw a niche market. I took it, and I did a little experimenting. Got a lot of beaten, but
Mm-hmm.
it pays off.
I feel like beating is like part of the lifestyle, almost at least a phase of it, right?
Well, in almost any business that you do, there's always teething problems. Some persons get it right the first time, and some there are some things that just can't be written. It's like driving a car. Once you get a license, it's not a license to drive. It's a license to go and learn because there are so many experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So once you have an idea, there's because what works for you might not work for the next person. So you always have to be reinventing. Because even today, after 10 years, we're still reinventing.
Right.
You're a businessman. You understand exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. No, a lot of truth behind that. And I know like Negril, like we were talking off camera before, we were talking about the in a short stint, like the history of entertainment and Negril. And in many ways, would you say or would you think like Negril, like back in the day, that is maybe in the 90s, like was the entertainment hub of Jamaica, perhaps?
Easily.
Mm.
Because if you name all the big artists, the Freddie McGregors, the Gregory Isaacs, God bless his soul, all those artists, they used to come to the grill. Jimmy Cliff, all of them. As a matter of fact, a lot of these guys, they are band, their guitarists, their drummers are from Nigel. They play on the hotel circuit regular. Even today, even like Barry Hammond, some of those guys, they're from Negril. So back in the day, in the 90s, yes, Negril was the place, but a lot has changed since. The social media has changed a lot of stuff,
Hmm.
and expense has gone up. Numbers are, but it can come back.
Right, right.
It can come back.
And when you say it can come back, like what would you envision or what would you like to see in terms of?
We'd love to see a lot more live shows with the big art.
Hmm.
Shows are being kept right now, but back then we used to get numbers.
Hmm.
We used to see it. Now a lot of live shows, 200-300 people, 400 people. You know, but that's what we'd really love to see. Stage shows back in the day, not just in Negrid but out of town. We used to see thousands of persons, even Kingston or wherever. No, the stage shows. And a part of that, as I say, is because of social media. Persons are not that hungry again
Hmm.
because they can always see stuff on YouTube or I'm on YouTube now, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
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 it's
yeah.
on Instagram. So many different social platforms. But and then some of it has to do with the content that some of these artists are putting out.
Hmm.
Some of them is not. You know,
Somebody in the chat, Sebastian Polak says, "The Bus and Risky Business." Just mentioning some
right?
nostalgic
Yeah, yeah,
places in Negril.
yeah. The bus used to be one place where you could actually see basically all the artists. Once
Hmm.
every big artist, the Freddie McGregor's, all of them, they used to be there.
Now I remember that place as a kid because they had like it was like a double decker
Yeah,
bus,
there was on a double decker bus that used
right?
to be there, English bus. That was like a landmark there.
Hmm. Right, I remember that. And then talking about Sam Sarah and Legends in the
Right?
'90s.
Yeah, they used to have Jimmy Cliff regular.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
They have Jimmy Cliff, Ziggy Marley, all of them.
Wow.
They used to come to Nigga. MX3, Kuba, God bless his soul. He had the Bob Marley. I think he's the first person who have a Bob Marley celebration, birthday celebration.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where all of them used to come down. All the Marley kids used to come to for that celebration.
And I know Minister Grain, she was talking about, or there's been lots of talk, I should say, about uh, setting up a dedicated entertainment zone or hub in Negril. What do you think of that, and what do you think that that would possibly do for
All
Negril and
right.
its entertainment?
Um, the idea came out of the Negro Entertainment Association. What is happening is that we're looking. It's not exactly a zone because some persons are of the belief that if the zone comes in,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna take entertainment out of Negro. No, that area is for large events.
What is considered a large event? Like how many
ten
people?
thousand people.
10,000 people.
And
Wow.
thing is, Negril has the rooms. So if we could do a large event, because there are a lot of large events outside of Negril. There's the Barry Salmon show. There is the Barry Butcher Banton show. There is Rebel Salute and just just to name a few, some fest. If we were to keep an event like that on this side of the island, there's nowhere.
And can you give us an idea? I know you said you put out the number 10,000, but like how many people are those concerts drawing? Like I remember like Buju did the National Stadium, for
Right.
example. Like ballpark, how much was that?
Well, that probably would because the stadium itself can hold 30,000 people seated. I don't know
Oh.
if it was a full seat. I don't
Hmm.
know. I don't remember how the picture looked. But that event had the stadium seats and part of the field. So I'm just saying, if we were to go into events where we, because Nigel has hotel rooms
Yeah.
and there's season and off season, which I hate to use that term, but it's a reality.
Hmm.
But if we could do events, large events that would attract a lot of persons coming in who would need a venue large enough production for that show would be massive. So what we're looking at is having that kind of event, and then we will also have the complex self-sustain itself. It's not just a, a venue per se. It would be a park with running tracks, green space,
I
that
see.
sort of stuff. It would be more like a museum, like a reggae museum, craft village, that sort of thing. So it's not just when events is to be used, you know, that sort of thing. But we are all for that, and I'm so far we have had endorsements from even like Chamber of Commerce and GHT. They're into that sort of stuff
Hmm.
because once we're talking about rooms, because if you were to do a show, for example, because as you know, most big shows are in Kingston because they have the space. They can go to the arena, they can go to the stadium.
Hmm.
If we were to do, for example, a Beyonce show in the grill,
Yeah.
you have to think outside of the box and
Right.
think large. You know,
So
that would be a very impact of have a high impact on rooms in the grill.
yeah.
And there are other persons. There are other persons who could have mentioned.
Because that was my next question, really talking about international artists. And before you were alluding to, and we've talked about this on my show many times, the and everybody could have their own opinion on this, but like the direction that dance hall finds itself in right now, and in a sense, we're losing in a sense the battle to like Afro beats, and
Yeah,
really it has taken. And I love Afro beats, trust me,
I
but it has taken dance hall's position.
for what I think I would say would cause that is the numbers game
Okay.
because we are just like 3 point something million people in
Hmm.
Jamaica. So even if everybody in Jamaica votes and say go for dancer, we still cannot dent the number of Africans in that's what I'm
Hmm.
saying. So that's part of what our so that's why we have to make sure that our product is of high class because when it goes out it has to attract other persons because Jamaicans alone can't make that song a number one.
Right.
So we have to and this is what I would love all artists to do, and this is why the Shaggy and so forth. Yes, they have. If you notice, to be a reggae artist is like you have to come back to Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about coming to Kingston, coming to Jamaica. It's like it's missing that little that spice.
Yeah.
However, you still have to make sure that it's on the international market,
Mm-hmm.
because being number one in Jamaica and being number one in the world is very vast percentage away. Yeah, with Afrobeat, if someone comes up in Nigeria tomorrow and say he's a singer, and every Nigerian go for him, his song goes number one easily.
Mm-hmm.
They have the numbers. In Jamaica, we still have to fight. So we just have to make sure our product is always of the international standard
Right. And also,
and still maintains authenticity.
right, agreed. And I knew you brought up Shaggy, and he was like he's a very what would I say? Relatable, and then also when you hear his lyrics, you can understand it, especially when it comes to the hooks. And so I think that also there seems to be a disconnect with understanding the music, the lyrics of the music currently. It
That's
seems.
true. And one of the things is that the beat, reggae beat in Jamaica,
Hmm.
because a lot of times I know these people, some of these songs on the international market, nobody understands them.
Hmm.
Even myself don't understand. But there's a beat,
Right.
and when because as they say, music hits you, feel no pain. Bob Marley
Right.
said that. But there's a beat about the reggae music that it's always you don't hear what it's saying, you don't know what the song is saying, but
Hmm.
you're vibing to it.
Yeah.
So, but that's very important also.
Yeah.
The understanding of the lyrics.
Yeah. I agree. So I mean, I hope I mean, congrats to the young artists who are doing well, like the young local artists. But I think they could do better. I think they could have a much larger appeal, and hopefully they're getting the guidance and the support that's like hopefully expanding their horizons, because they are extremely talented.
Yeah, I see a lot of them. They probably start off with a particular style,
Hmm.
but as soon as they go international, you see them cleaning up and
Right.
changing it.
Right.
Because as I say, international, the persons need to hear. And I've seen a lot of them change over sometimes. Sometimes they have to bounce back to get another hit, and then because that's where it is longevity.
Hmm.
Yellow Man hasn't had a number one in years, and he's still touring.
Wow.
He
Wow.
hasn't had a new song in years,
It's crazy.
and he's still touring.
That's crazy. Man, good for him. Good for him. Um, so kind of like broadening out a little bit more. We talked about the let's call it for entertainment zone, for lack of a better term, that Miss Granger's talking about, but basically having this dedicated space that could fit 10,000 people, right? So that's one thing that's gonna do big things for Negril.
Because that would be job creation also, not just for events, but because without that giving out too much information, but
Mm,
it would be a space where persons will be employed daily.
right.
So it will be, and I said green space, museum, history. That's what we're looking at.
So what I was gonna say, like coupled with that, we hear a lot about a lot of things that are other things that are coming to Negril. Um, just today, I don't know if you saw that the dinner in the sky
Yeah, I
was
saw that.
approved. We've talked about that here on the show multiple times. There was another article, I think, last week or maybe earlier this week, talking about Minister Vaz was talking about the plans and they're moving forward with the Negril Airport. We hear about the Princess Hotel, which is like 15-20 minutes away from here, and just a lot of investment coming in and a lot of amenities that we've never really heard be talked about for Negril. The beach park also recently came up.
I'm
Um,
so waiting for the beach park.
right. But you hear of all these major multi-million US dollar projects that are in line, the bypass road, the highway coming from Montego Bay to Negril. And when, like, I guess my first question is, in your experience and in being here and being living in Negril and making your personal living here, like, one, have you seen, are felt this type of pending financial impact that is coming? And then two, what do you think of it all?
Um, Let me answer the second one first.
Okay.
Um, it's a very good look.
Mm-hmm.
I love it because especially the bypass, I would love to see every road that leads to Negril have double lane, so persons can get here quick. Reason being, Negril is not a what you call a pass by community and pass by town. It's like New Zealand. You plan to go to Negril.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
There's no going passing and say, oh, stop in Negril. You're coming from Montego, you go to Negril. From St. Elizabeth, you go to Negril. You don't pass through Negril to go anywhere, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just for example, let's you like in Little London, you're going to Lucy, you pass through Negril. But the major traffic, there's no pass through. So one of the things that we always have to make sure that our attractions or products, whatever we do, whether it be entertainment, whether it be hotel, whether it be the chicken on the street, it has to be something that someone wants to come for. Now, when someone is thinking about coming to Negril and then they say, the road, you know, not knocking the persons in Lucy. We love Lucy, we love Hope, we love Hanover. It just takes too long to come down.
Mm-hmm.
So the highway, I'm 100% for it. I would love to see it on the South Coast side too,
Mm-hmm.
because there are a lot of persons in St. Elizabeth who want to come to Negril. Even just in like Savlamar, which is like 20 miles away. We'd love to see the road, just easier access, because if you notice, President Ocharas is just blooming thanks to the new highway from Ferry over 45 minutes to an hour in Ochi. So that's what we would love to see happen to Negril. And I welcome the bypass with open arms. I would just love to see it on the South Coast side, a quicker route coming to Negril.
Right.
The other developments, yeah, we love them. The beach park is for the community. I'm 100% for that. I just wanted to make sure that it's for the people.
Right.
It's not because oftentimes we get it's built for the people, but not for the people because they have no input.
Mm-hmm.
But so just and then airstrip, yeah, we'll bring in more persons quicker. That's all for development, and that's what we all want.
Right. Right.
We'd love to see more persons coming into Negril, which will enhance the community. Entrepreneurs are gonna make more money, and then that way we can always make it a nice place.
Yeah.
Or a nicer place.
Right. Right.
No, I'm all for that because as a promoter, as an event person, I'm all for that. More numbers.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree, and we talk very positively and in an exciting manner about these things that are coming, but we'd like to see it come a little faster.
Like 10 years ago.
Right. Especially as you talk about Lucy. I mean, just in preparation for ThropX for my event, I've been having to go like back and like just traveling a lot more than I normally do. So I've had to just go a lot through Lucy to get to the airport. And it's just like it's crazy. And it's like it's off season.
Yeah.
Like next month it's going to be insane, and it's the worst it's ever been. And there's been talks about, I think even at the security meeting we were together, they're talking about doing like
some
fixing up those
plans in
roads.
place, some temporary plans in place until the bypass comes. I wish it could come quicker. But
Yeah.
we're surviving.
Yeah. We're surviving. We got to be patient, of course, but like continue to hold our leaders accountable and make sure this at the
That's
at
what
the
we have to
forefront.
do. We have to keep pressing and pressing and pressing and let our voices heard.
Yeah, absolutely. We cannot not do that.
If you don't talk, don't want to know your problem. No one's gonna know. They're gonna think you're okay.
Right. Very, very, very important. I guess now going back to my first question, like asking about like your perspective in terms of like, have you seen this I would say level consistency of activity coming to this area?
Presently, because it hasn't as yet started. Apart from the Princess has started, thanks for Green Island. think Green Island should be feeling some increase in financial
Mm-hmm.
gains right now, just from the workers, because there are a lot of workers there. So you know, I don't think they're gonna take all the money back home.
Right.
They're gonna spend some in the community. Um, so I wouldn't say yet we're feeling it
Mm-hmm.
on the local side, but all being well, it should be, because as I say, once more persons start coming into the community, we'll they'll have to spend money, they'll have to eat, they have to sleep,
Right.
so locally, local business people will make money. It should be better for us. It's just that let's hope everything goes out, because there's always, with the increase in numbers, there's always other negative things that comes with it
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. But we don't want to think about those
Right.
things.
Right. Let's focus on the positive aspect of
Right,
things.
right.
So I guess kind of bringing it back to entertainment. Where do you like currently on like not on a promotional side, but like on a day to day, night to night entertainment? What do you think Negrill's strengths are right now currently?
Nicholas' strength. Um, well, one of the things that person actually love about Negril, well, back in the day, you could party hop.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of places to open. The beach road used to have different areas. Alfred's, the Fruits Bamboo, the Bus, and all those places used to be open. You could use to party hop
You know,
a lot.
I forgot you could do that. That's so true. That I totally forgot that we could do like and one night you could go to 2, 3 different spots.
You're right,
Wow,
right.
yes, you're
And
right
then
about
there
that.
there was the occasional bigger events.
Mhm.
You know, presently, a lot of these areas, a lot of these places are closed.
Mhm.
Some have downscale, downsize a lot. Um, as I say, I think one of the biggest issues is getting the numbers of persons back into Negril, because believe it or not, Negril doesn't have a large local population.
Mhm.
It has a very big name,
Yep.
but it doesn't have a large local population. So what you'll find happens is a lot of persons who work, they leave Negril. It's because of that, like smaller, like, smaller. If it's not a large event, you don't find like small pockets, small pockets of entertainment. So most persons have downsized their entertainment to just so it's tricky, right?
No, I think you raise a
And
good point
and
with
persons
that.
are trying. There are some
Yeah,
persons out there who are really trying, and but it's hard.
because there's also, as you say, like a lot of the population lives outside of Negril. I think too, and we talk a lot about this on the show as well, is that there is not a lot of choice of places to live for I would say almost like right across the spectrum in the grill, that is. And so even now, like I was telling you before, like the majority of the audience here, they are Jamaican diaspora, are people who are looking to move to Jamaica and invest here and are considering the grill. But as far as like options and places to move, there's very little, there's very little that we can show and but that's to me that's also an
And
opportunity.
it goes back to because most advertisements for Jamaica show the beach,
Right.
whether it's Treasure Beach, or it's Nigger, or it's Montego or Ochi. And unfortunately, Jamaica is much more than that.
Hmm.
There are a lot of places. If you travel from Kingston to Negril by air, you'll be surprised to see the amount of unused lands
Right.
that need much development. Because Jamaica is just dotted around the coastline, and a few communities inland, probably from the Maroon days that have been built up. A couple of them. So one of the things that Jamaica needs to do is build roads, do like the Chinese,
Yeah.
make places accessible.
Hmm.
And then persons coming from overseas, they can always choose somewhere else to live. Still have access to the beach. Because not I'm sure not everybody wanna the beach is sold, yes, but
I was gonna say, like, even if you like Where in the grill now can you buy a place to live on the beach?
Well,
Like a home, like
on the beach, it's finished.
finished, right?
There's no. That's not possible.
Right.
That's not. It's not possible. It's not feasible.
Mhm. I mean,
Unfortunately.
but but I think to your point, so I always think is that you say like, all right, it's very difficult to live on the beach. Are you going to pay like literally millions of
Yeah.
dollars to try and get a piece of land on the beach and build a home? Doesn't even really make sense. But I think with say the advent of say we have like a Harmony Park type beach park here in the grill. Imagine having that beautiful park with access. It wouldn't matter. You don't have to live on the beach at that point. I mean, you can go there, safe, secure parking lot, bring your family,
Right.
you can barbecue, whatever it is. And like that is like a huge amenity that you have access. You have access to the top 10 beach in the world. But that has to go hand in hand, but now people, and I don't, we don't mind it. Like we have a lot of guests who um, are either expats or live in the Negril area, but they come here, they have lunch, and they hang out at the beach or they
Right.
use a pool or whatever. And I think that's what most people do right now.
A lot of persons there, but there's still that market for persons who wanna quote unquote call it freelance.
Right.
And that's where the park and other areas would come in handy, where they can go, you know, without have to go into a property or
Hmm.
you know. But I tell you this, in the 90s, there used to be like there were many bike rentals around that time, less cars, and there used to be several tours going inland. Several, not they used to take the bike tax up the bikes. They used to go the Rowan River, Wise Falls. Tourists used to come to Jamaica just to see. They want to leave the beach. They'll spend time on the beaches, but they want to go inland.
Hmm.
So those are in terms of living, as you say, a person want to come back. There are a lot of spaces out there where persons can live,
Yeah.
and not just the beach. But as I'm saying, the beach has been sold so many times.
Right, right, right. I mean, it is the draw factor for sure. And but I think also people like people don't mind not living on the beach. I
They
think
just want to have access to it.
right, because people exactly. People want to have access to it, and that's the most important thing.
Because even for me, if I was to retire, I wouldn't honestly. I would want to go where I hear near the river and stuff. River, birds.
And I
But
could
you go to the beach occasionally, but I prefer river in the day.
yeah. And people are very much interested in farming too. Like that's one
Right.
thing. People want to
Uh,
have their garden and be able to
and
pick their fresh
and
vegetables.
inland you get more of that
There
because
you
you
go.
get larger properties inland.
There you go. So yeah, I guess bringing it back to entertainment, where do you think there are opportunities in the grill, specifically in the entertainment industry? Like, kind of what would you like to see or maybe encourage people to consider investing in?
As it relates to entertainment or just in general.
I guess both. Yeah, yeah, you could leave it open.
Well, as I said before, we talked about the part before. We can do major events,
Hmm.
festivals. Nigel can do festival. Remember, Nigel is already sold 7 Mile Beach. We have the hotel rooms. It's a reggae country. Reggae festivals, music festivals. That's what we need down here. All right, you remember spring break?
Yep, definitely.
Thousands of people coming into Negro. A lot of persons made it was financially viable for a lot of persons, right? We need that kind of stuff
Hmm.
because yes, tourists come here a lot, but most of them go to the hotels. Unfortunately, because of some elements which we prefer not to talk about, a lot of tourists aren't coming on the streets anymore.
Hmm.
And if tourists don't come on the streets, there's no money spending on the streets. No money spent on the street, we all know what's going to happen.
Hmm.
The finances go down. So there's room for like festivals, and not just music festivals, but there's food festivals, there's art festivals, So there are a lot of things you know, a couple of things we could put together.
Do you think that there is enough to do on nighttime specifically? Is there enough to do for somebody who comes to Negril on, like, say, somebody who's staying here for 7 days or 10 days?
No, no, there could be more.
Hmm.
There could be more, much more. But again, it's a numbers game.
Is there
And
anything
persons,
specifically?
because um, persons do want to try stuff, but as I say, it's a numbers game. Because if you do something, Nigel is expensive to live.
Hmm.
Yeah, when you say expensive, because of customer service and because of clientele, we try to give top notch service. So if to offer top notch service, you have to have quality staff and stuff.
Right, right,
So some areas where you probably use only one staff, someone else who want to make sure his staff is okay. He's gonna the customer is okay. He's gonna have three staff.
right.
That's so the cost go up there.
Hmm.
But yeah, in terms of nightlife, I think we could have. There's more, and not just for the big shows or live shows, but somehow even a casino. I think we need even a casino or something like
Hmm.
that.
Well, Princess is supposed to be a casino
Yeah,
hotel.
that's in a hotel.
Right. I see. You're saying a standalone casino.
Right. When you go to Montego Bay, there's so many different things to do on that it's gonna called Jimmy Cliff Boulevard.
Yeah.
There are and again it's an maybe Montego Bay is diverse in the sense that because it's the capital of of the parish, it's like the center, it's like a hub. So they are already ahead in the numbers game.
Okay.
So it goes back again, get persons to come to Negro.
Gotcha. And I know your time is limited, and I do want to talk about different strokes. And as I mentioned before, it's probably I'd say the number one party that people look forward to, like, on an annual basis. And as I said before, one of the main reasons is the nostalgia that is brought back in. So I don't want to steal your thunder too much, but if you can just tell us what Different Strokes is about, and also like how you came up with the idea to do this.
All right. Different strokes. As the name suggests, it's a retro party. The idea came about, 2009. You know, still young, going to parties. But one of the things that I noticed about myself was the genre of music, which was the 90s. That's the music that we enjoyed most. And then most of the events had the newer music. So this is like 2009. So I said to myself, I'm gonna do an event dedicated just to that era. It's not the first party because there are other parties in Kingston similar, but there was none on this side. People used to keep like all this session and stuff, but you know, I tried it, lose my shirt the first time, but a lot of persons told me that it wouldn't work because I said to them, I'm gonna keep an event with no microphone or minimal microphone, no talking from the DJs, just music. They said it can't work. Persons have to talk on the microphone. I said, all right, I'm gonna try.
Hmm.
Tried it in 2009, got less than 200 persons, or just about 200 persons. I was very disappointed because
Hmm.
to me, I had a very good product. But I guess marketing was one of the weak points then. I packed up my bag and said, I'm sticking to my regular business.
Hmm.
However, a couple of months down the line, that was March, I met a couple of the patrons. They're like, yo, enjoy the party. I'm like, well, nobody no come.
Hmm.
Yeah, man, we enjoyed, man. And it started to me experiences. So I said, all right, try it again. Tried it in November, got a better turnout and bigger response. Persons just kept telling me now they love it, they love it. And then I just continue, try to make a better product each time, and try to maintain the quality
Mm-hmm.
and the idea that I started out with, which is little or no talking on the microphone. We interact with the crowd now and then,
Right.
but we try to just make you just let the music do the talking, the legs do the walking.
There you go. I like that.
You know, and this is where we are now. Some 27 stages now, 2 times a year from 2009. It has crossed several boundaries and borders now. I have persons who are actually flying in now for the event, which has happened a couple of years now. Persons book their rooms, which is one of the things that we emphasize on. Because a lot of persons also see Negril as a venue. A lot of persons outside, they see it as the beach and as a venue to go to the event. But for me, Negril is much more than that. And if I can get persons to come to Negril to spend a day or two, that's much better for me. Not just for my event, but come and spend a day or two, other persons. So the entire area community can benefit, not just for me alone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I try to do. I try to tell persons book a room for the weekend, even though my event is only one night. Which I'm trying. I have tried it before. I did a weekend before, and I'm thinking I'm gonna go try that again one
Okay.
sometime. But I'm trying to tell persons book a room for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Come to Nigel for the weekend, so that way you can enjoy parasail. You can go glass bottom. You can go to restaurants. You can walk the beach. You know, enjoy Negril. So that's part of what I also try to tell persons. And so when you come to different strokes now, it's about the 70s, the 80s, and 90s music, which the 90s is one of the biggest era of music, as far as I know. It has, it's you could actually keep a 90s party
Okay.
non-stop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's where you get 6 to 8 hours, dependent, of just music. It's one of the biggest reunion party
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of persons come there and they see friends like 5 years I haven't seen you, 10 years I haven't seen you, and they make connection. I can also tell you, I have persons who are now married who met at different strokes,
Wow. That's amazing.
and that's just what I know of.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are other persons out there who probably have gone that route as well, and things like that gives you the energy and to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what different strokes is all about. It's just about fun, fun, and fun. And as one of our taglines is saying, "Dare to be different," and there's another one that says, "Come for the experience, stay for the fun."
Mm-hmm.
You know, this year it's gonna be no different. Next staging is on November 18. Saturday, November 18 is actually like 2 weeks away. Um, it's gonna be no different. It's gonna be the same, just fun as usual. However, for this time around, we're gonna be bringing in the General Degree, the man who gave you Granny, the man who gave you a lot of songs from the 90s era. Um, he'll be there live, making a cameo appearance. It's not gonna be a full show, but he's gonna be a part of it. Still gonna have a lot of dancing. It's not gonna be, you know, along with DJs like DJ Marvin, who has always been there with us, DJ Big Red from the Grill, and DJ Five. Um, tickets are now on sale. The tickets have been on sale for the past month and a half. Early
Mm-hmm.
bird tickets that's closed now. We have tickets on sale presently at several locations and online at differentstrokesjamaica.com. I should also mention that this event is a mixed drink inclusive event. So for persons, once you pay, if you don't wanna, the bar is open. It's an open bar. Once you buy a ticket, it's an open bar. You know.
You said differentstrokesjamaica.com?
Yeah, differentstrokesjamaica.com.
Okay, yeah, I got the website up.
You can log on. There are two options on there. You can choose from two different platforms you can choose to buy a ticket from. Plus, it's in stores in Negril, World of Sports, in Lucy at UG Cellular, in Montego Bay at the Photoshop, that's in the Bay West Plaza. In Savlamar, you have Carla's Nail Salon.
Mm-hmm.
In Savagen, you have DNL Phone Shop. You have Candid Expressions. You know, and we also have an Instagram page. They can also follow us on Instagram. Can direct message me on Instagram or on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Monica is still different strokes. Just type it in.
Just different strokes
Once it go different strokes, that's me.
on Instagram. Okay, excellent, excellent.
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, we are all there. Social media is for the young, but different strokes is there. Yeah, man. We just try to maintain the quality for the event at all times. You know, and try to let the patrons listen to the patrons at all times. Give the people what they want.
All right, got the IG up there. And I'd also say from, the pictures that you're showing me here, it's a very diverse crowd.
Sure.
Uh,
Well,
in
very.
in age, in ethnicity, and it really does bring so many different people together.
Sure, and that's part of what that keeps the movement going.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of what keeps the movement going. Because on the night of the event, I'll stand on the stage and I look at the crowd, and I'll just sometimes I get goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see what is happening and how persons are really enjoying themselves. You know, and it keeps you going.
Yeah.
It keeps you going. And also, I must say, on the social responsibility side of things, now, for the past couple of years, like I think since COVID started out, we actually started doing started the Different Strokes Foundation.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not yet registered, but I still have the name up and running.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that we do is every year we give away we assist students going back to high school who have matriculated from the primary school level up to high school, because that's one of the biggest spending era, changing everything, because nothing from the primary school goes to the high school.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do, we actually assist children who moved on by helping up their school fees. For the past 4 or so years, we've gone probably about 100 odd students.
Wow.
Each year we give away like 20 students minimum. Each of them get like $5,000 towards their school fee. We assist them, and that's just one of the things we do.
Mm-hmm.
There are other stuff. Some of them, it's just natural,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So we try to help out back in the community as best as possible. You know, as I mentioned earlier, I'm also a member of the Negro Events Association,
Mm-hmm.
NEA, and that's part of where we also have a charity. Just to segue a bit here,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
we have a charity in December. This year it's going to be December 17, which I know you know about the Kid Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, we normally do a Kid Street annually also, which I'm a part of, help organizing and sponsoring, along with other members of the team, other promoters and other persons who have pitched in. And we feed like 300-400 children minimum for a day. We fed them food, once about educational stuff, give them goodie bags and that sort of thing every year. Again, that's an idea from Cuba,
Mm-hmm.
Life Pringle Cuba.
Yeah.
God bless his soul. Yeah, he was a part of that. It used to be held by MX3 back in the days, but now
Yeah.
it's held by the Beach Park.
Okay.
And persons who want to assist on that program, they can also reach us on Instagram,
Okay.
NEA Jam,
Okay.
or we're on Facebook also,
Okay.
NEA, Good Entertainment Association.
I was gonna say, as we get closer, maybe we'll have you come on again, and we
I
can
probably
talk
could
about it.
organize like probably the secretary or the president.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great.
But we just have to do what we have to do. We always have to be our brothers' keepers.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
Before I go, I must want to say thanks again to all the patrons over the years, all of the support we have gotten, and we'll always continue to try to make sure that different strokes and other events that we do, because that we do other events also, maintain the standard and continue to do what we have to do. There are a lot of hiccups here and there, but we try to make it.
Okay, awesome,
You know,
awesome.
yeah, man.
So I'm just gonna encourage everybody, please follow Different Strokes on Instagram. And if you're in the Negril area on that weekend, like I said, you won't regret it. It's a really awesome, awesome party. The vibes are amazing. And as you can see from the pictures and what we're saying, it's an eclectic group of people from all walks of life. People are flying in from this. And I barely ever go out. But this is one of those events that you may see me in there like once every couple years, and it's really enjoyable. Definitely gonna be if you're coming to Throth X, we're probably gonna put something together. It's not part of the agenda or anything like that, but we'll probably hop over there and check it out. And if there's a group of people that want to go and take a look, definitely down to go, and we can have our own little contingency of the extension of the conference and continue networking and all that good stuff at Different Strokes.
Yeah, man. And all the best for Tropex, and I would say this also. We also have group discounts. And for Tropex, we could probably have a Tropex discount also.
Okay, appreciate that. Appreciate
we
that.
can talk off here about that.
Okay, all right, all
We'll
right.
always work something out for Tropex.
Okay, thank you.
But thank you again for having me on the program, and
Absolutely.
for everybody out there, thanks again for coming to Different Strokes. Thanks for making it one of the best events. We'll continue to try to do our best to make sure at all times you enjoy yourself and also be safe. Because as for the event itself, we also make sure that we have like ambulance and spot and everything, proper security, and because we have to make sure our patrons are okay at all times.
Absolutely.
So there's always the EMT on location. Security is always on point with the Jamaican police and everybody. So it's a safe area. I can guarantee you, we've never had an incident. Yeah, and it's not just for my event, because we try to make our events be of international standards at all time. Not just my event, but other team members' event, and we work together as a team. So even though it's my event, I have team members of other events who will come across and say, "Here, that's not right," or "That is right," and so we try to work with each other all the time. It's not just yes, it's my show, or yes, it's your show, but we all have a say in every event.
Right.
And just to say also on the NEA side, we try to do things like making sure that we coexist, because Nigel is diverse and unique in its in how it is structured, and there's no way you can keep an event without disturbing your neighbor.
Right.
That is totally impossible in Negril. However, we try to let it be a work in progress.
Right.
We try to. Here's my number. If you have an issue, call me. We try to make sure that we live together. We work things out.
And I just want to make like clarify on that. Like what Sean is saying is that how Negril is structured, the main location, even I would say the Beach Road or the West End, it's like literally like hotel after hotel after hotel, event venue, hotel after hotel after hotel. And so there are venues, and even when hotels do events and it's loud, your neighbor is going to hear it. And so what he's saying is that there is it's important to have communication amongst community members, and that there is support going both ways, essentially. And so I know back in the day, when I first moved here, it was like a really, really big problem because there was such a divide, and then it was, I don't know what the event was or if there was a singular event that happened, but then it just became like an understanding, like we need to work together, because Negril needs entertainment. We have
It
to
has
have
to have entertainment.
entertainment. There's people who come into Jamaica and come into Negril specifically for that. So we need to be able to cater to that demographic. But at the same time, people also need to sleep and have a place to stay and not just be disturbed, so to speak. And so now, my opinion, there's just a much higher level of cohesiveness, more than I've ever seen before in the history of Negril in that regard. And I feel and think it's going to continue to move in that direction.
Sure. And one of the major things that we have done through the NEA, that's the other hat now,
Mm-hmm.
is calendars. We've tried to work out a calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So at least we can provide a calendar. Persons can see, instead of, for example, you're here and you just see sound box going up. You're like, what's happening over there? A party. No, you didn't get a chance to tell your guests that, okay, there's going to be a party tomorrow, blah, blah, whatever the case is. So we try to alleviate stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
happening. So we have calendars going out where we can tell persons the event, which is also good for us, because when you put out a calendar 4 or 5 months ahead of time, persons coming to Nigga can actually see what's happening already
Right,
and know
right,
what the plan is, and say if they're going to go to this event or they're going to go to that event. And, and hoteliers are glad for that. At least some guests know how to plan
right, right.
so it's a work in progress.
Yeah, I think it's a big part of it, like you said, is communication and just being open and clear. And like you said, um, if a hotel, you're doing somebody's having a party next to a hotel and it's just like, hey, it's a little bit loud, can you turn it down a little bit? And I think, I at least in the grill promoters, I know that they are very willing to work with everybody.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So I think it's good. And I mean, where like the entertainment venues that are close by, again, I always say with our guests here at Travelers, it's just like what keeps people coming back. And it really is, in many ways, like, yeah, I think we have a great product here at Travelers, but it's also the experience outside of the four walls of Travelers. And we do encourage our guests to go out there to explore Negril, to enjoy Negril. And like I said, there's walking distances. We're walking distance from a few particular venues that people go to for entertainment on a nightly basis. And yeah, it's, I guess, a very, very important part of the overall experience of people coming to Negril and coming to Travelers.
Sure. Because a lot of persons, actually, as you say, they come for entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
one way or the other, whether it's by the live music, whether it's by coming to the sitting on the corner.
Mm-hmm.
It's some form of entertainment, and it's very important. But it's a work in progress, and I see Negril persons in Negril trying. I've been to a couple of meetings
Mm-hmm.
through the various hats that I wear,
All right.
and I see some plans. I hope they really come on, but um, we still need to do more. Negril needs.
Yeah, somebody just wrote here, for Eva, says, sounds like you need indoor clubs, which we only have one
All
place
right,
like that.
the indoor club.
Yeah.
I have no issue with it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are persons who want to go outdoor. There are persons who want to go indoor. For example, I don't smoke. I cannot take an indoor club.
Mm-hmm.
Indoor is gonna mess me up. But hats off to who goes to indoor club. I used to go indoor club
Mm-hmm.
when I was younger. I used to go indoor club. However, there is a uniqueness about being on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the open air, the sky, the moonlight, the stars. It's a different vibe, right? So there's a time when you want to go indoor. And there's always gonna be a time you want to go outdoor. That's why persons build houses with balconies. Sometimes they just want to sit on the balcony.
Right.
And there are
But
times that
there
they want to go inside and stay inside.
but people don't really have a choice in the grill. There is really no indoor venues.
Nah, not much.
There isn't. I mean, we have the jungle, but most of it's really almost outdoor, indoor, outdoor, open air, I should say. It's not enclosed. It's on the upstairs. So there isn't really, you don't really have an indoor outside of all inclusives. That is, there's no indoor venue to go
Well,
to.
to be honest, Jamaica is not really an indoor culture
Hmm.
country. It works in the larger countries because they are fully developed and they have much green space,
Hmm.
so they have to do a lot of indoor. But Jamaica hasn't reached that point where we have a lot of buildings and stuff where we still have a lot of green spaces. So persons are always gonna be outdoor. And the history of Jamaica with the dancehall and everything, it's outdoor.
Do you think a what would I say, an upscale indoor venue would work well in the grill? Like if somebody came here and built a club that was, I don't know, let's say on the level of a South Beach Miami club in the grill.
Um, Not right now,
You don't think so?
not at this present moment, because
Hmm.
as I've said a couple of times before, the numbers game. You have to make sure you're getting persons coming to Nigel. So it goes back to the development of outside coming into Nigel, how the access,
Hmm.
getting the access to Nigel. Because as I said, Nigel is like New Zealand's last part of the world.
Hmm.
Well, that's for Jamaicans. You have to be coming to Nigel.
Right.
It's like Portland. You don't pass through Portland. You have to be going to Portland. So once we have access and easier access to coming into Negril, then the sky's the limit.
Hmm.
Sky's the limit there.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think that like if an indoor venue was created, but it would have to be done right. It would have to be done to and like I personally like anybody who's bringing something to Negril at this point, like if you're like so take Princess Hotel for example. They're investing like millions of dollars into this thing. They're not just, putting up four walls and seeing what happens. Like they are
Oh,
changing the landscape of the West in a big way, right? And so I think the grill is at such an impasse at this point. I don't think I'm not saying not to do this, but I don't think anybody coming in here should be investing. When I say coming in here is coming to invest in like a commercial business. You can't go halfway in.
no.
You have to go all in, and you have to do something that is so you have to think bigger than the grill. You have to think bigger than Jamaica in terms of like we're competing, because I think a lot of entrepreneurs and business people who are coming and trying something, they don't understand like, look, we're competing against Tulum. We're competing against Bahamas. We're competing against all these other islands and tropical places all around the
You have to
world
give me a
where
reason.
people have
You give
to
me a reason why I
because
should choose
come
you
here,
over.
spend money, take my time, my very valuable time, and come here because there's just too many places that people can choose. And especially as you mentioned with social media, people know what they're going to get before they get there. So an expectation is already there. And so if we're losing that before I come there battle on the social media and on these platforms, we don't stand a chance, let alone when they do come here and then they're disappointed with their experience. Then we're going to continue to set ourselves up for failure, and we can't think of like 3 years or 5 years. We
No.
have to think in 20-30 year chunks because that's
What
how they're thinking.
whatever plan put in place now, whoever is doing any event, any form of development,
Hmm.
has to have a 30-year plan.
Yeah.
Because the first 5 years is just to know the era. It has to be a 30-year plan minimum.
Hmm.
Because even with the entertainment complex that we're looking at, we're looking at something that could last for another 50, 60 years.
Right.
That's gonna outlast me. It makes no sense to build something that's in 3 years they're gonna tear it down again.
Right.
You have to put in infrastructure, put in plans for at least 50 years.
And it has to be like I'm so like a big part of just doing things like this is as important to me is like the design element, like
Hmm.
how it's going to be designed, like the beauty of it, and like a big part of the investment has to be in that, and that you just want to go to see this thing. You'll come to Negril just for that, and I think we need to continue in that direction and
You
that
know,
sort of thinking.
when I look at some pictures of some places, smaller countries in Jamaica, bigger countries in Jamaica, and it amazes me,
Hmm.
you know. there are some communities in some countries, Mexico, even Puerto Rico. These communities are buildings have 400-year-old buildings,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still looking brand new. They build the community, they build the roads around these areas. They're still there. And that's one I think I noticed in Jamaica. We don't do much. Over the years, we have never maintained some of our older buildings. I don't know if they want to cut off the history or what, but some of these buildings, they don't exist. There's
Mm-hmm.
no history. Yeah, you have traveled a lot and you've seen buildings in many countries, hundreds of years, cathedrals, how many 100 years, and they're well maintained, and it's thousands of people go there daily just
Mm-hmm.
just to see these buildings. And that's one of the things I'm really excited for Jamaica in that aspect of it. There's just one and two towns that still maintain that rich history we've
Right,
had,
right.
whether it be African buildings or Spanish buildings or English buildings. But I can't remember right now where we can find an African building. We might
Okay.
find a Spanish one somewhere, or English, but
Mm.
you know,
Yeah, I just hope that, as we continue to build out our infrastructures, uh, roads, airports, otherwise, and as new investors come in here, it's just like I just hope they're thinking like modern design, because
not just modern, futuristic,
yeah, there you go. Thank you. Even
not just
better.
modern.
You got to think ahead. And it's just like, is this thing that I'm putting here, is it going to be able to allow me to be competitive in 10 years from now? Or at least put myself in a position to refurbish the strong foundation that I've created, and that's in a big way we have to think that, and that's why I brought up the idea of somebody coming here to do a club. Like, you can't come here and do something that's already existing. Like, it has to
And
be
you
something
can't
great.
if you're gonna do a club or something like that. As I say, you don't want to see in 3 years it's change something different again, and
Mhm.
you know,
Or it's like old the day you open it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. Also has to have room for, as I say, room for improvement to
Yeah.
modernize. Because I just say, some of these buildings, these Spanish buildings in Spain, even in England, 200-year old,
Right.
500-year old.
Mhm.
On the inside, they have the modern stuff, but it's
Right.
still. And some of these buildings, when you look at them and say, that's really a 100-year-old building,
Mhm.
but they look like it just built yesterday.
Maintenance.
Yeah, apart
Maintenance.
from that, the designers are futuristic.
Mhm.
You know.
Somebody's saying, and I think for you, I think you brought this up before, but they're saying it's because our property taxes are too low, no incentive to fix up or sell somebody who can fix up those buildings.
Um, I think it has. It's more like interest in the persons. There's no emphasis on it. So a lot of persons have no interest in it.
Mhm.
Some person don't know the value of it.
Right.
That's part of it. Some person don't even know. As I said, they don't even know the history of the buildings.
Mhm.
And to them, I've seen persons bought properties with great house on it and just bulldoze it.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay.
Just bulldoze it, and that's history gone.
History gone, yeah. Somebody said the TNK says that the courthouses are still standing though.
We all know why.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Sean, it's taken up enough of your time. Again, I appreciate it. Everybody check out Different Strokes at Different Strokes on Instagram and differentstrokesjamaica.com. And we will be checking out Different Strokes live and in person on the 18th, day after ThropX. We're going to take a quick break just so I can say goodbye to Sean, and we'll be right back.
I belong to you. I belong to you. Do just what you want. You're the one I trust. And I always be around when I need some loving, baby. Take me to your heart. I belong to you. Take me to your soul. I belong to you. Do just what you want. You're the one I trust. And I always be around when I need some loving, baby. No one else. Yeah. Let you down.
Right, we are back. Hope you enjoyed that little break. Hope you enjoyed the convo with Sean and his promotion of his party. Like I said, I really do enjoy going there and going to his events. We're gonna be wrapping up in a few minutes. I got a meeting right after that. Busy as you can imagine. We got ThropX coming up in about 10 days, which is crazy. But everything's coming together pretty well. But as you can also imagine, it's very tight in terms of not enough time to do all the things that I would like to do. So trying to manage my very precious time as best as I humanly possibly can. And I don't really have that many announcements. I mean, I announced last week our keynote speaker for the farewell dinner, I should say. Um, the boat ride is exciting. The night out is exciting. We're just kind of wrapping up the plans, talking with panelists, and getting them to just what do I say, finalize their presentations and things of that nature. And so I think I wouldn't say any big announcement, but I mean any last minute announcements will come next week on the live streams. I'll be back on Sunday for sure. That might be the last live stream before ThropX. Because I also have my running team in New York, Teamwork. Shout out to Teamwork. We're doing a retreat here at Travelers, so we got that retreat happening the weekend before ThropX. So it's a lot going on here, and that should be fun, which I'm very much looking forward to. But anyway, I actually think, yeah, I gotta get running. I will let you guys know about the live stream on Sunday at we're gonna do 12 o'clock, and Yeah, I gotta run to this meeting. I gotta go. I can't be late. But thank you all for joining this Thursday live stream. This was a fun one. Thanks to Sean from Different Strokes for hanging out. You can check out his website and also his Instagram right there. And I will see you on Sunday. We got the newsletter coming out tomorrow. I know we were supposed to get it out earlier this week, but like I said, we got a lot going on, a lot with these last minute plans for ThriveX. Got all the merch here, everything that we need. Thank goodness to give out to everybody. We'll probably do like show off all the merch one more time on the Sunday live stream, and we have it for sale as well. What's going on, Shayna? Shout outs to all my channel members. I'm seeing you guys here. Appreciate you, Justin. Appreciate you, Joe. Thanks for hopping on. We're going to leave it right there. Thanks for joining. I will see you all on a Sunday's live stream. Enjoy the rest of the week, and I will see you all soon. Peace.